Hello Uganda, this is Sanyo Angela once again on TV presenting to you the program called The Tabloid. I welcome you all, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. I love you all. This program holds the current situation concerning the politics, economic and social current situation in Uganda. Today our main issue is going to be about the economic crisis currently happening in Uganda today. And before I go further, according to the current situation in Uganda, there is what we call the economic crisis. And this is going to be a big issue to discuss about today. In the house, I'm having my guests, Mr. Professor Jeremiah, Mr. Limkokwing Benjamin, and Mr. Ayalaziwe Innocent. I welcome you all and you're warmly welcome. Let me give this opportunity to Mr. Jeremiah to introduce himself briefly in 1 minute to these people.
I think it won't even be me, my son's late Angel, and my big brothers here with me. By the names of Jeremiah, Professor, a student at Limkokwing University of Creative Technology. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in tourism. I love you all fans of Lim TV from where you do watch us from. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin.
My name is Gov'T Benjamin. I'm a student at Limkokwing University. I'm doing a bachelor's degree in software engineering with multimedia. I'm grateful to be hosted on Lim TV. I love you all. Thank you for watching.
Welcome. Mr. Innocent.
Before I even introduce myself, I want to first thank you for hosting us, my colleagues, and Lim TV. What you're doing is so great. My name is Ayalaziwe Innocent. I'm doing software engineering in Universty.
Thank you so much. Back to our main issue of the economic crisis today. Uganda being a lower middle economic status. This led to the high prices of goods, especially food and fuel, going high, yet the standards of living are low. People, what should we do? What can you say about the situation? First and foremost, can you please help me tell these people what's meant by the economic crisis?
Wow, thanks, Angel. I didn't know that Lim TV has got beautiful ladies who have beautiful questions.
Thank you.
But when you talk about the economic crisis, yes, I think I can define it as a situation whereby people cannot sustain their needs.
Okay.
Whereby civilians or residents of a certain community cannot satisfy their needs.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Innocent, can you please clarify more on that, like economic crisis?
In simple terms, economic crisis is a situation where people in a country cannot live to their standards, cannot give their needs that they need to live.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin. Do you have any views on that?
Yeah, I wouldn't go much further from what they have said, but I would add something brief to it. Economic crisis, to me, it is a situation whereby someone or a body can't survive. Like it can't survive, like it's going through a very hard time. Or let me say it is sinking in water, that it can't get out of it. To me, that's economic crisis.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And according to the World Bank, they say that Uganda is a lower middle economic status. Do you agree, Mr. Benjamin, in this question? Do you agree on that?
I agree on that.
And why should you agree?
Based on the statistics given, Uganda is still struggling. Our country is indebted, and we are still hustling financially to find that certain ends meet. So when we come out on the ranks and we are still in the lower, probably that is where we belong, based on where we are. I'm a Ugandan. You can just look at me and you'll get to know that, yeah, this is a Ugandan. Lower it is where we belong. That's the reason it's right. I agree.
Thank you so much. Mr. Jeremiah, I see you're having a hot question to ask.
The thing makes me feel like as if some kidding with the situation that goes on. When you talk about the lower middle income status in Uganda being at that level, it's like when somebody says that family they are rich, yet they slept hungry when they don't have food to do what? To eat. So when you continue talking about Uganda being in a lower middle income status country, then I get confused. And I just need to know what does that mean? And where does this information come from? And when people try to give out this information, why? You know, there is one issue about the IMF, that is the International Monetary Fund. It's time to realize that this is a business circle for the US that is there to sustain its civilian through hiving. You know, they have a system of lobbyism, whereby they rob from the rich to help the richer. Do you get my point?
Yes,
They rob from the rich to help the richer, and they steal from the poor to help the rich.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Innocent.
I would briefly talk about the middle status income. Uganda is not yet at that level because according to the statistics, a country to qualify to be in the middle state is supposed to be between $20,000 to $20,000, and Uganda is not yet there. So we are not in the middle state income. I think that was just a long legislation by the president.
Back to the economic crisis in Uganda currently happening. People are starving, people are dying, especially in northern parts of Uganda.
Yeah.
Economic crisis. Who do you think is to blame? Mr. Jeremiah?
Wow, that's a good question. Whom do you think is to blame? You know, every situation that happens, there is somebody responsible. But here, this is a situation where you have to think carefully and creatively to do blame. I would like to give responsibility to a certain party, and I would just like to give this responsibility to the government.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Innocent?
According to what is happening in our country, Uganda, which used to be our motherland, but no longer our motherland because we are yet to run away from it.
Yeah.
Really, I would partly blame government and partly blame COVID-19, the situation that came in. Yeah, because when you look at what COVID-19, the impact of COVID-19 on our country, it was a tragedy. But I don't still blame these guys who are in the government because they're supposed to be taking care of that. Take an example of the situation that is in Kalamba. Uganda is not that country. We are not to that level. We should not be on that level where we're having people who are dying. Yet agriculture is our thing.
And the government is not taking the responsibility to build them food.
Yes.
Okay. People ready? Mr. Benjamin, can you please give your opinion?
Yes, thank you very much. Me, I would put the blame on the government. And because based on the situation, like my colleague said, Uganda is our motherland, though right now it's like a stepmother. We are in one family. And in a family we have a head. And the head of the family is the responsibility. The person we look up to in case we are in need. In case we need something, we look up to that kind of person. I'll say it's the father or mother, any guardian we might look up to. So in Uganda, we are looking at the government being the head. So I put the blame on them. They didn't manage the situation very well. My colleague talked about COVID-19. It was something worldwide, it's a pandemic. Other countries have found better solutions on how to deal with it. It isn't something that only Uganda has faced. So to me, I blame the government on how it has managed the situation. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin. Still on that, the biggest issue we are having now on board is shortage of food. People are starving, people are lacking what to eat. The prices of fuel are going high. Now, per now, a liter is at 6,800, right?
6 plus.
6 plus. And food right now, a kilogram of posho is at 3,000.
Plus in some areas.
Some people can't afford that. People are dying of hunger, especially those in northern parts of Uganda. Karamoja, we are having Pakwachi, people are dying. What do you think is the best solution to be done?
So if I talk about the solution, now we have to first realize one thing, because we have understood about some of the causes that do bring into this. Now Uganda, we are in a financial crisis, whereby for everything now to get run, we need what we call money.
Yes.
So point number one, we have to find a way how to source funds. But this is what I would say. Uganda has something that other countries lack. That is what we call the geographical phenomenon in the culture. I would just advise our government, I would just send this government, even the president, Mr. Gov'T, to put much emphasis on the tourism industry. Because if we have much emphasis on the tourism industry, this is now the only source whereby Uganda can earn living, can earn some good money to sustain its citizens. Because you can't talk about going to production. This is a long process. If we say we have to go back in agriculture, it is something wrong. You can't tell the people of Pakwachi, people of that side of the north, that way people are going to go into what? Farming, we shall give you food. Because this is not an instance where they're going to go for 4 days. But the tourism industry can produce something good to that. Uganda's country.
Can tourism right now
This
take
is
up for those
okay,
people?
look at this. We need money. That's what you should know. When you realize that we're in an economic crisis, anything that can overcome that is money. Because when you need food, you need money. You know, we've been depending on loans based on excessive spendings by the government. So when you need money, what are we to sell? Do you think people have anything that they can sell to get money? They don't have. Look at the education system. It's very poor. Oh, very, very poor. People have their degrees, diplomas, they can do nothing. So, but if we have people like our culture, Ugandan culture, they can move from abroad, from anywhere to come see our culture. We have the geographical phenomena, we have the tourist sectors, we have various destinations that people would like to come and see and leave some good money in Uganda.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Jeremiah. I love your points. Mr. Innocent, do you think tourism can solve the problem of hunger in Uganda right now?
I do agree with Mr. Jeremiah on what he's saying, but I again disagree with him because the current situation needs immediate intervention.
Yes.
I want to really blame the Ministry of Disasters and Preparedness. You cannot tell me that the whole ministry has failed to provide food for these people. Not even at least trying to take for them portion.
Yet I heard of this excessive government expenditure, especially the ministers.
Why would us be having that parliament full of people? I don't think they even prefer to be there, because if they cannot solve the situation that is in Karamoja, why are they seated in the parliament? Why do we have ministers?
Yeah. It's like as if the current situation can't move.
A minister, you find a minister is driving a car of 300 million. If you calculate that money into, according to the price of Porsche right now, as you say, let's say 3,000. So that's around $100.
So they should
We sell there because we first take control of the
I want to
stock. We shall buy the vehicles.
Who's buying the vehicles? That is also
Thank you so much.
I want to disagree with my big brother. It's such a clear point, and then that's why is it longer. Because if you say let's sell this vehicles to who? Okay, leave that. Then how will these people reach here? You know, hard work deserves to be paid. For these MPs to be in parliament, there is some hard work they need to be in parliament. They deserve to own what they do own, but they just have to sit and look at what to do. We have 28 sectors in the parliament that do run these activities. We have that committee responsible for these hazards, but they are not prepared. That's what you should say. They are not, you know, you have one problem with the government of Uganda that I would say. There is this ecosystem of familiarity.
I still demand my time because I was still explaining about the point. Yes, I do believe in what you're saying, but right now we are in a situation where people are dying.
Mr. Innocent.
We don't need a long process. We need an immediate intervention.
Okay.
If it is calling for us to sell the
Then that is the long process.
we should sell them.
One of the long process you should think about is selling vehicles, because this may even result in war.
I'm telling you,
and you find that you wanted food,
The
and then
moment
you
is
see
auction
the
one
bodies.
vehicle, the minister.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Jeremiah, according to your views, you think Innocent's point of selling the government vehicles to cater for those people starving
No.
is not a solution.
It's like when they tell
let
you
me
that-
ask Mr. Benjamin to
just
clarify
30
this.
seconds only, just 30 seconds.
Madam Sani, my
Please,
point is,
Mr.
my point
thank you
is
very
we
much.
need immediate intervention.
Thank you
Yes,
very
Whether
much.
right.
whether
My colleague, it's my time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Innocent. Can
Let me
Mr.
add point also. Based on the current situation in the country, selling cars to me won't help. Because people don't have money. Now who is going to buy the cars?
There may be somebody to buy.
No, the thing is,
But
basing on the situation right now, let me take you back to the COVID-19 situation. Cars were even packed. We couldn't even travel. All what we greatly needed was something to eat, way of survival. We are looking at a situation where people are killing each other to get what to eat. That is very deadly and dangerous. We are looking at a situation where people are dying because of hunger. The possible solution to this is to find the quickest means of providing food
Yes.
to the people.
Thank you so much. Mr. Innocent, can
I would
you
like
please
to-
conclude on this
Yes,
issue?
I would
of
like to
solution?
clarify more my point, please, to my fellow colleagues. My point was we need immediate intervention. If they are at the extreme that they cannot get money, let us auction their cars. But we first go out of the situation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr.
allow me
Innocent.
just use 30 minutes about that same issue.
Okay, right.
Thanks so much, and maybe given even 4 minutes. Now, about that very issue, when this gentleman says that to sell cars, it won't help now. We have people dying, even more than those that
Okay,
die.
what do you think is that immediate
What the government should,
solution?
I believe we have a plan. The government has got a plan. To solve their vehicles for the MPs, they rather not pay them their monthly income or salaries, and then they support these people. Because some good money that can help some regions as we go on. And the government has some savings, I believe. We have somebody that is soon being released for PDM. We can service that money as we do prepare for the parish development model.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Jeremiah. Let's go in for a short commercial break. We are coming back soon for the continuation of the program. Thank you so much. I all love you.